Okay, today we're going to be diagnosing the problem with the Craftsman blower I got yesterday. I got this from my neighbor. He said it was his old one. He said it was in his garage for about 2 years. So I know it's probably going to have a few problems. Probably bad gas, definitely. Probably some fuel lines it needs, and maybe a carb rebuild. At least a carburetor clean. And maybe just a general cleanup, probably. I already tested compression on it. It does have good compression. The way you can test that is just pull this starter rope. You feel some resistance on it. If you pull it slowly and you feel the air leaking down and you can hear it, you probably have a scorched cylinder. To check that, what you're going to need to do is take off this cover. The muffler's under here. Take off the muffler. It's just 2 more screws. And then you can look inside the cylinder and see your piston. It should be nice and smooth. If you see lines on it and it looks like there's air coming through it when you pull it turn it over, then you probably have a scored piston. If you really want to see how much compression is in it, it should be at least 90 pounds of compression. Put a compression tester in the spark plug hole and turn it over 3 times. And see what it says. But first, we're going to make sure the engine's good, and to make sure of that, we're just going to make sure it fires. If it fires, that means it has good compression and spark. So first we remove this cover. Use my little electric drill. Can't really do this with the camera in my hand, so let's put the camera like that. Okay, now that the cover's off, what you're going to need to do is put this to full throttle and off choke so that you can see right through the carburetor. And take something that's flammable, like carburetor cleaner. Starting fluid's the best for this. Actually, the best for this is just 2-cycle gas because it lubricates the cylinder, but if you're only doing it one time, you can use starting fluid or carburetor cleaner, or any other pretty much flammable sprays. And just spray it in the cylinder and see if it fires. You can use penetrating fluid because that is penetrating oil, because it has lubrication and it's flammable, so that's probably good too. What you're going to want to do is spray a little bit in there, and then put the camera here. Sorry, I dropped the camera. Make sure it fires. Okay, there it fired. So now I know the engine's good. So let's proceed to taking off the carb, and we'll check that out. 2 screws here. Okay. Let's take these off. And now you're going to need to take these 2 screws out. And you can take this cover off. And here's our carburetor. It's pretty dirty. The lines are pretty stiff. They're decent, I guess. For some reason the primer bulb isn't working great. Like, it's not popping back out, so there's probably some problems in the carburetor. I can see there's a lot of oil residue over here, so that means he probably ran too rich of a oil mixture in there. And that might mean that the carb is pretty dirty in there. So let's unhook the fuel lines. Try and pull them off. That one ripped. And so did the other one. So now they're on there. Let's see if we can get them off. If you can't get them off, so use some of these cutters. And you can cut them off. And now just clean off the outside of the carb, and I'll go do that. You can use water or some cleaning fluid or whatever.